Welcome to another episode of Cadence Fishing TV. We're fishing down in Passies Ponds, which is near to Brighton. And this is Steve Chatfield, one of our brand ambassadors, just unhooking a nice bream. Nice one, Steve.
Thank you.
So we had an open day down here today, one of our Cadence open days, and we decided to stop on for a few hours and do some fishing. So Steve, tell us a little bit about the venue.
Well, basically, James, this is the original pond, and this was originally a dairy farm, I believe. They've dug out the Match Lake next door, and there's another lake called Jenny's over the back, which is for young anglers, for kids. Lovely little lake.
Well, I mean, I think it's a fantastic fishery, and we've been blessed with the weather today, haven't we? It's been a beautiful day.
Certainly have, yes.
And one thing to note that's really interesting, perhaps the method that you're using is a bit different. You're using one of our 16-foot rods, and you're fishing close into these lily pads in the margins.
Yes, that's quite right. Something we do quite a lot down south, actually, James. It's we get a few carp. This water has got lots of carp in it, although I'm hoping to catch skimmers for the camera and silverfish. If you hook a carp with a Cadence rod and the control we've got on the reels, you've got a very good chance of getting them out. So yeah, that's the main reason.
It's a fascinating method. I remember in the past when I used to fish down in Surrey at places like Willow Park, I used to see a lot of the locals fishing like this.
Yes.
And I think it just give you that advantage if you did hook a big carp. Obviously you can give line and play it and perhaps get the best of both worlds, really.
This is true. They're fizzing like mad down there at the moment. You see them?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
I'm waiting for the perfect lift bite.
Well, you've already had some nice bream and some smaller silverfish, some smaller roach.
I have, yeah.
It looks like it's building up to be a great session already, so
I do hope so.
I can't wait to see how you tackle this this interesting venue.
Oh, missed that one.
Missed that one.
You saw it though.
Yeah. So Steve, I noted that you're fishing the lift method.
Yes, I am, James.
Can you just explain a bit about the rig that you're using?
Yes, I've got a 2BB crystal waggler and two shot about 9 inches from the hook. The hook is barbless because you have to use barbless hooks, and it's a Drennan carp match, size 14 actually.
So are you actually overshotted, like float ledgering?
No.
Or it's actually, so that's off the bottom, yeah?
That's just off the bottom.
Okay.
And what happens when the fish picks the bait up,
yeah,
it lifts the shot in the water.
Yeah, and you get that
lovely lift.
Yeah.
And hopefully you hook your fish.
Yeah, brilliant. It is such a simple but effective method, isn't it?
Very, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Come on then, swing us back in and we'll see if we can catch another.
Can't wait.
So you're going on the pellet,
pellet, yeah? Yes. These are the Sonu pellets.
Yeah.
The Sonu Pros. And I've done a little trick. Instead of just soaking in water, I've used molasses.
Yeah.
That's why that water's all brown there.
Okay.
They're soft, but they stay on.
So what do you think that molasses does?
Bream love molasses.
Right. Well, it's definitely proving to be the case.
Yeah, seems to be so far. Right, here we go.
So with that long rod now, you're just lowering it into position,
more or less, yes. I'm just going in by the lilies.
That's the advantage of the long rod, isn't it, Steve?
It certainly is, James. That's the advantage of the long rod. Hopefully we can get through the roach, and there it's just settled.
Okay, so those two shot now, those 2BB are just off the bottom.
They're just off the bottom.
Yeah.
And if the skimmers come in that were fizzing just now, we should get a lovely lift. If a carp comes in, it'll probably slide away and the rod will knock over.
It'd be great.
That looks like a little run.
Yeah.
And we're in.
I see. So that didn't lift, it just
that just slid away.
It's fighting nicely, that is, Steve.
Yeah, well, you just absorb everything on the rod, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bream.
You amazed me earlier with that bream you hooked that jumped out the water like a dolphin.
It's quite a common thing with these breams. We don't know why, but they seem to do it quite a lot down at Passies.
It'd be fun if we got one on film doing it, but that
it
one's
would.
just done the classic plod about, hasn't it? And he's just given up.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. All right. Lovely
another
fish.
quality bream, yeah.
That's probably getting on for 3.
I'd say so. Chappie
Big
probably
black
give us £2 for that one, but
He probably
I'm
would.
giving you 3.
Well, now it's fighting. All right. And there we go. Rig out.
It always amazes me on commercials like this how close you can catch quality fish like that.
Oh, you can. Beautiful. Look at that. Now that's nice bream.
Proper slab.
Proper slab. All right, let's get it in the net.
Steve, just before you cast out again, I noticed something really interesting about your rig, and that is you've not trapped the waggler with locking shot.
No, I use float stops.
Yeah, and what's your thinking there?
Well, basically, because all the capacity of the float is down near the hook, so I see everything, and
Okay.
you get good lift bites generally,
Yeah,
or bites that slide away.
I like that, it's a great tip, but obviously those gripper stops move easily, so you can adjust the
Yes,
the
that's
float
right,
depth
and they
very
don't
easily.
damage the line.
Yeah, brilliant. What's your feeding sort of pattern and regime when you're fishing this method?
I use little nuggets of super crushed green, Sonu.
Okay, so that's the
Ground
little
weight.
nugget, I guess about the size of a conker. And how often do you feed that?
Depends. Once I've got them going, I'll probably feed them about every other cast.
Yeah.
I'll put one in, and
Yeah.
then
So that's the actual ground
that's
bait.
the actual ground bait.
So that's super crushed green, and that's a fish meal type ground bait.
It is, yeah. And I also follow that with about a dozen pellets just by hand over the top.
So you're not feeding like, really regular?
No, not regularly.
Because you want to keep the fish on the bottom?
Yes, and also I don't really want to put too many pellets in because of the carp.
Okay. So you're avoiding the carp
I'm
and
trying
targeting
to,
the bream. And it just goes without saying when you're fishing, I mean you're fishing really quite close to
Yes,
those
I
lilies,
am.
aren't you?
I'm tight to the
It must be
lilies.
just great cover for the fish.
I think that's the main reason they come in, because it's super cover.
And hook bait wise,
Hook bait wise, I'm using Sonu Pro.
yeah, so that's
Soft pellets.
we mentioned about that because you prepared
Yes.
that with molasses.
Yes, I did.
You've got some hard pellets and you've also got some meat.
Yes, I've got some meat as well, and the meat I've also covered in the super crushed green.
Oh, that's a nice tip. And why'd you do that?
We found, because it comes off, you get a little cloud over your bait and it attracts fish.
I like that.
So let's try a piece of meat. Swing the bait out. Oh, not hard enough.
It's actually quite a stiff wind
it's
now,
a,
isn't it?
It's
Blowing
a
into
facing
this.
wind, unfortunately, but we'll see.
At least it's cooling us down a bit.
Yes. The other thing I've noticed, by using meat, we don't seem to be getting troubled by the small ropes so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So Steve, you've fed 2 spots in the margins, haven't you?
I have, yes, because I've got lilies both sides. You've got to feed left. In fact, I'm just going to top up on the left-hand side. Just down there. And follow it up with a few pellets.
So it's interesting to me. I mean, you're not feeding a massive amount of bait,
No,
are you?
no. The main reason I don't feed heavily is I want to keep the carp out if I can.
Yeah. And is that from sort of matches where you're targeting the bream as opposed to carp, or just prefer catching the bream on this method?
Well, I like catching carp, like everybody. I find it's better to catch carp by using a method feeder.
Yeah.
And if you hook carp in the lilies,
it's going to be
where are they going to go?
It's going to be a tough
straight
battle,
through the middle of it. So,
but I can see why this method's so effective for the bream, because you know how the bream are going to be feeding on the bottom.
It is. I mean, you know a bream. They come in, they head down, they pick something up, and when they come up, classic lift bite.
Yeah, no, I can see why it's so effective. It's brilliant.
And there might be something happening there now.
Did you just try the meat, Steve?
Yes, I put meat on that. Maybe it's a bit slower, maybe.
Worth a try though.
Oh yeah, we got a dip.
Do you ever fish corn?
Yes, I do, but again, I have noticed that in the last couple of weeks, there's a little touch there, see?
Yeah, I saw that,
in the last couple of weeks, they haven't responded yet.
Yeah.
It fishes well in the winter corn, but through the summer months, which is unusual as well.
Yeah, it's interesting how different baits work at different times of the year.
And also on different venues. I mean, we all go fishing different venues, and you end up with, here we go,
hey,
duckling.
That little duckling's having a go. They're funny, aren't they?
Oh, get away.
Oh, he's run back to mum now anyway.
I bet my bait's gone now. Bless them. We all love them.
So I know you mentioned, Steve, that you fish some silverfish matches here in the winter.
Yes, there's a silverfish league. I have a series on here, James.
That's quite well attended.
It is, yeah. I mean, carp, you can catch carp, but every carp you catch is a pound.
Yeah.
That's.
So I guess that's when these skimmers really come in.
Skimmers, roach, and in the past there were some really big chub in here.
Yeah.
But they seem to have died out, unfortunately.
But bream are such fantastic weight builders, aren't they? So
They are very good weight builders, and generally a lot easier to get in and quicker.
And when you're fishing in the winter, do you employ this method, or do you tend to fish a different sort of float approach?
Well, generally, because you don't know where the lilies are, it's at further range, so I use a 13-foot waggler through the winter, or the method feeder.
And then, so is that the 13-foot number 2?
The 13-foot number 2, and I've got an 11-foot number 2
for the feeder.
For the feeder.
Yeah.
Flying skimmer.
Did you get it? This is what we were talking about.
It was only a little lift.
That's what we were talking about, Steve.
That's what we were talking about.
How funny.
That was interesting, wasn't it, Mom? How did you see that?
It definitely woke him up.
Yeah. Flying skimmers, famous at Passies.
Well, that was another lovely fish, Steve. I'm itching to have a go.
I thought you might be, James. Would you like to have a go?
Go on then. There's fish fizzing down there, so
yes.
If I could
Do you want me to swap it over?
We better had, because you're left-handed, aren't we?
I am, yeah. Well, cack-handed.
So anyway, I suppose that's a good point to mention about the reels. They are ambidextrous.
Beautiful.
And they're screw-in.
Yeah.
So you can just swap it over. because I would have struggled if I was having to use my wrong hand.
That's what I thought. Make sure it's done up tight, otherwise put the cap in the other side. Here we are, James.
What, can I sit on the box?
Oh no, of course you can. You want the landing net on the other side as well, I expect.
Well, hopefully.
Of course you will. Everything's the wrong way around for you and most people. That's a bite.
Oh, look at that. The smallest fish of the day. Anyway, it shows it catches all sorts of fish,
It
doesn't
catches all sorts of fish, yeah. What do you think, Mon? Hey James, I just like, did we have any, we had a lot more meat than that just now when we swapped up. Was that you, Monty?
He's looking a bit guilty,
He
isn't
does, doesn't he?
That's why I put him back on that lead. He does like to sneak a bit of lunch of meat if he
we
can.
We love you though, don't we, mate?
Well, let's have another quick sneaky go.
Yeah.
And this is not a bream. I'm having a job to keep him out these lilies. Hey, nice one. Well, that's a bonus.
Well done.
Well, there you go. Nice mirror carp. You can't keep carp in nets here, can you? So I'm going to put that one straight back, Steve.
Yeah, that's the right thing, James.
There it goes. And thanks to the fishery manager, we also had permission to use a net for the bream today. So Steve, you're using the CS10 reel.
Yes.
And what have you spooled it up with?
That's Gardner 020 millimeters, which is £5.
Right, so it's a good strong reel line.
Good strong reel line.
Hook length?
Is the Power 013.
And that's got a breaking strain of around about £4.
£4, that's correct.
And then the hooks you're using are the eyed carp match, yeah?
Yeah, barbless.
And your size 14?
Size 14, yes, mainly.
Yeah. Looks like another good bream, Steve.
I think so, yes it is.
It's another slab.
It's a slab. And it's in the net.
Nicely done. Well, I think we'll make that the last bream of the day, Steve.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a wonderful day and I've really enjoyed watching you fish this lift method. What an effective way of fishing that is.
Certainly is. Shall we see what we got?
Yeah, let's get him in the net and we'll have a look.
Okay.
What a brilliant net of bream.
Certainly was.
An absolutely cracking day here at Passies Ponds.
Thanks for watching.